because a lot of people watch my channel from different parts of the world. So yeah, welcome to the first of three streams that I'm going to do today, breakdowns, the remaining breakdowns. I think I'm going to do another stream a bit later. Wow, I look good. I'm going to do another stream a bit later where I basically um, reply to comments, basically, because this is something that one of my subscribers actually requested. Um, so yeah, I think I'm going to do another stream, a separate stream whereby we can just have a conversation a bit later on today. So on this one, it's Hamdy Abdelwahab versus Mohammed Usman. Um, okay, I'm going with Hamdy Abdelwahab. My subscribers are going with Mohammed Usman, and let me try and explain my reasoning behind this. I feel like Hamdy Abdelwahab, despite the fact that he's not particularly great, he still was able to beat like pretty decent competition in Don't Tell Maze. I know. Okay, UFC heavyweight is full of a lot of non-skilled athletes. To be honest, that normally it's just knockout power. If you put them in a 5 round fight, it's gonna be disaster. That's why a lot of them are in three round fights, right? So, but in all honesty, I feel like beating Don't Tell Mays, even if it's via split decision, you might feel how you feel about that fight. Even Jamal Pogues, I think it's pretty decent in my opinion. I mean, I get it if maybe you want to pick Mohammed Usman, but in all honesty, I just feel like Mohammed Usman is past his prime. Let me see, how old is he right now? He's 36 years old, and I know it's different at heavyweight, but for me personally, the fact that he came into the UFC late, he hasn't had like notable wins in the UFC. Like for example, his record is he's beaten. What do you call him? But again, Zach Paunga, I don't know how if like I'm even pronouncing his name properly. Coming off of the what do you call it? Ultimate Fighter. Is it the Ultimate Fighter? Yeah. Coming off of the Ultimate Fighter, I don't know if that's a good win. He then beat Junior Tafa. I mean, that's pretty decent, but as long as you wrestle any of the Tafa brothers, like they're not a threat. Like they only become a threat if you decide to try to strike with them, and even then, as long as you don't get touched properly, you can still survive, and they get tired after 1 round. So I don't know how good that is, but I mean it's pretty decent, I guess. And then he beat Jake Collier or something like that. I don't know if that's great. Lost to McParkin, not bad, and lost to Peterson. Thomas Peterson, I mean, is also pretty decent. But in all honesty, I picked McParkin if I remember correctly, and I picked Thomas Peterson. But still, it comes back to what I've been saying. I don't feel like he's been fighting the best level of competition. And obviously, I'm not saying Hamdi Abdel Wahab has been fighting the best competition because he has. But I just feel like Hamdi Abdel Wahab is like undefeated, has the momentum. Mohammed Usman doesn't seem like he has any intention of even becoming a champion. So it just feels like he's happy to be in the UFC. And it's hard for me to actually pick someone like that because in training, in most cases, whenever someone is not training to achieve anything, the likelihood of them not going 100% is high because their aspirations in the UFC are a little bit different from other athletes, and I just feel like Mohammed Usman is just happy to be fighting in the UFC. I don't think he ever sees himself competing for a belt. He doesn't seem like that, and even from the contenders, from the Ultimate Fighter up until this point in his career, I've just felt like he was very average. He's been getting stylistically good matchups for him, and recently he's been starting like to decline. On the other hand, and to be honest, I'm not going to sit here and act like Hamdi Abdel Wahab is this killer obviously, but I feel like both of them, if I was to compare their fighting experience in the UFC, I would say it's more or less the same thing. I mean, obviously, maybe McParkin is a different type of an athlete. Okay, not a different type, but I think he's a little bit more skilled than anyone they've both ever fought. So I'll give him McParkin, but he still lost that one. So yeah, I generally don't see Mohammed Usman as talented, as being talented as most people maybe might see him. But he does have the reach advantage in this particular fight, which might make this fight a little bit more interesting. Um, but I don't know if it's going to even matter as much. Mohammed Usman is not particularly a finisher. Like he has a 55% finishing rate, whereas Hamdy Abdelwahab has a 100% or 75% finishing rate, somewhere there. I think it's 100 between 100 and 75%. So, yeah, like if anyone is going to be finishing this fight, I am leaning more towards Hamdi Abdul Wahab. As far as striking, I think volume wise, I think both of them throw more or less an equal amount of strikes. However, when it comes to defense, I'm leaning more towards Hamdi Abdul Wahab. I feel like, in all honesty, um, Mohammed Usman is a less skilled version of Kamaru Usman, basically. He's trying to do what his brother has been doing successfully in the UFC. He tries to throw the jab. He try like some of the things that he tries to do. They look so obvious that it's easy to train for them because he's not as skilled as his brother, right? I just don't see the skill level, even technical striking. I don't think Mohammed Usman is technically good, but it's not like Hamdi Abdul Wahab is great. But I would pick him as far as if you were to ask me in a striking match, who do you think is going to win? I'd lean more towards Hamdi Abdel Wahab, even though I'm worried about Mohammed Usman's reach. I think he has like a massive reach advantage, maybe 4 inch reach advantage or something along those lines. Let me see. It's actually more than that. He has a shit a 7 inch reach advantage. Okay, that's massive. That made me worry a little bit more, but I'm still picking Abdel Wahab, man. I just don't feel like. I think maybe Hamdi Abdel Wahab still has that illusion. I mean, he's still undefeated, so he still has that illusion that he can still become a champion. And that's important for me. If I'm going to pick you, I need you to have the delusion, even if it's not going to happen. I need you to believe it, right? Because I know you're going to train like it. Even if somehow you lose in the octagon, it's fine. But I want you to, I want the best version of you to lose as opposed to like the average version of you to lose. And I think Mohammed Usman probably is going to be the average version. But who knows, maybe because Kamaru Usman has been taking his training a little bit more seriously, um, maybe Mohammed Usman might come in and just destroy, right? But we'll just have to wait and see. But I don't have that much confidence in Mohammed Usman. I think this is a coin flip, but as far as the striking goes, it's going to be close. Mohammed Usman has a 7 inch reach advantage, might give him an advantage as far as the striking goes. I think Hamdi Abdul Wahab is a little bit better technically on the feet. So technical and defense and finishing ability, I'm going with Hamdi Abdel Wahab. But obviously the reach and Usman has a good team behind him. So who knows? Maybe he might come in and look a little bit different. But that's why I haven't been picking him in his last 2 fights. I knew he was going to lose. Maybe I could be wrong. We'll see. I don't have baby. What does that mean? And as far as the grappling goes, I think Hamdi Abdel Wahab is going to have a massive advantage there. Mohammed Usman is not Kamaru Usman, unfortunately, even though a lot of people would like to believe that Mohammed Usman is going to be this insanely good grappler. That's not the case. Mohammed Usman has horrible takedown defense. Maybe not horrible, but I think Hamdi Abdel Wahab is good enough to actually take down Mohammed Usman. So I can see a situation where Hamdy Abdelwahab actually takes him down and has success on the ground, right? Once again, just because you hear the surname Usman, it doesn't mean he's a good wrestler. Usman is not a good wrestler. I mean, Kamaru Usman is probably one of the hardest fighters to take down in the UFC. Um, Mohammed Usman is a complete opposite of that. It's not very difficult to take him down. He might defend one or two, but if you're good at taking people down, and I generally feel like Hamdi Abdul Wahab will be able to. Is this a fight channel? Yeah, it's a fight channel, man. It's a fight channel. I do watch along predictions, statistics. The biggest part of the channel is the shorts. So if you're new to the channel, go to the shorts, go to the community section, go to the video section, and go to the live of the channel. But the biggest part of the channel is the shorts. So I do watch alongs on the channel and a variety of other things. So if you're interested, just go through the channel and then decide if you like it or not. But yeah, I have like 400,000 views per month, 16,000. Actually, this week I'm getting to 17,000 subscribers. So 17,000 people actually think this channel is good. So maybe give it a chance and see if you decide to stay with us. Um, Blebby, word, cool, bro. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Justin Hero, our favorite fighter of all time. I don't know. I'd say, you guys are distracting me from the topic. I'm going to do another stream a little bit later where we're going to be talking about a variety of things. But let me respond to you guys before I conclude my breakdown. Favorite fighter of all time? My favorite fighter of all time. I'm a new MMA fan, so I started watching MMA around 2018, full time, 2018, 2019. So I've been watching from prelims up until the main card from 2019. So for me, favorite fighter will be the group within that era. Obviously, before that, I loved Anderson Silva. I think it's not even debatable. He's one of the greatest of all time. I'd say Habib also. I like his pressure. But if you were to ask me who my favorite fighter across generations is, I don't know if a lot of people will agree with me, but Hamza Chimaev. I'd say that. Chance, Koto, who wins Oliveira or Topuria? I'm going to actually release the predictions for Oliveira versus Tuporia tomorrow. But you can join me later at around, just that a lot of people from the channel are from different parts of the world. I'm from South Africa. A lot of my subscribers are from the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada. So it's kind of difficult to actually tell you guys when I'm going to be streaming. Just subscribe and turn on your notifications, and then you'll get alerted when I go live. But unofficially, because I haven't done enough research, I'd say I've criticized Ilya Tuporia. Like, for me to explain my pick, even though I'm going to pick Ilya Tuporia, I'm not very confident. I'll try to explain it a little bit more. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, I think you'll probably understand my reasoning behind that. I've picked Ilya Tuporia, but I feel like people like Josh Emmett was able to actually take him to a decision, and I don't think the power will be the same at lightweight, so it might be a problem. Charles Oliveira seems like he has been improving as far as striking and wrestling, not just jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu, Charles Oliveira has been good at grappling in general, but he's never been really particularly great at wrestling specifically. But when you look at the fight with Michael Chandler, it seems like his wrestling got better, and his hands are getting a little bit better, even defensively. Right, so I think it's gonna be a very tricky one. I can see Charles Oliveira actually getting it done, but my official pick, not official, but my unofficial pick would be what do you call him, Ilya Tuporia. But we'll talk about it later on. And by the way, I break down every single fight on every single card live every single day. Okay, Monday to Friday, not every single day. Saturdays it's watch-alongs. So there's a lot that happens on the channel. So just go through the channel and find what you like. If you don't like watching me talk, you can just focus on the shorts. If you enjoy watching me talk, you can focus on the lives. If you want like fan-driven predictions, If you want like fan-driven predictions, you can go to the community section. That's where the subscribers put in their predictions, and the subscribers are pretty good at predicting fights. So yeah, so yeah, I appreciate you guys for joining me. Wow, there's a few people coming online. I didn't actually expect that. Um, Bleepy, sorry, LOL. Yeah, man, no, it's cool. Just subscribe. We're going to have a full-on conversation a bit later on. I promise I'm gonna try to make sure that I create the stream whereby it's just me replying to comments. I'm not going to be doing anything except replying to you guys. Just that I'm making this breakdown of this fight a little bit longer than it has to be. But yeah, Blepi Hamza is pretty dominant. Striking is his barrier, however. I think he's improving, right? I think he's improving, and I think a lot of people are going to see that against Dricus Duplessis. Chance Koto, you think Hamza beats DDP? Yeah, I think he does. Shoshot McGee, go. What up, my guy? Yeah, this is like this is Shoshot McGee is one of my solid subscribers. He joins the watch alongs, he watches the shorts. The other one is missing, Renier the Rizzler. There's so many of them. Like so hopefully some of you guys actually join the community. Ilya by wrestle beating 5 round. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Shoshot McGee, I knew John Jones wouldn't fight Tom. I need to research about that a little bit for later on. Guys, this stream has been a lot longer than it was supposed to be. Wow, 17 minutes. Anyway, we'll talk later about everything. Let me not make this stream a little bit too long. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you know when I go live. Or just go through the channel and check the times because I normally schedule the lives. Shoshat McGee said it on the last interview he did. Okay, I'll have to check that one. Plus, Rene Dereslot actually asked me to speak about the Conor McGregor situation. So we'll talk about everything a little bit later on. So in conclusion, Hamdy Abdelwahab, I think might not have the best experience, but on the ground, I feel like I'm going to favor him. On the feet, it might be close, but I'm still leaning towards Hamdy Abdelwahab, although I'm worried about Mohammed Usman's 7-inch reach advantage. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, I'm going with Hamdy Abdelwahab. I'm not very confident. My subscribers are going with Mohammed Usman. If you want to join me, let's go to the next stream. I think it's going to be WMMA. I'm left with 2 fights that I still have to break down. I think it's Melissa Mullins versus Daria Zelesnikova or something like that. I can't remember. But if you want to join me, let's go to the next stream. I love and appreciate all of you. Until then, deuces. Why doesn't it want to turn off?